Hello everybody, out here doing another project, trying to get this chicken pen started and finished. And then I thought while I was doing this I'd give some pointers about putting posts in. I ended up not going all the way down on this time for lack of money, and I really don't need. I'm just making two big pens. They'll be 15 by 16. One will be for the laying hens, and yes, that is huge, but eventually I may get some more, or eventually I may cut it in half. I mean, I'll have all, I can do whatever I want with it. And the other one will be for the broilers I'm getting next week. I'm getting 50 broilers, and I'll tell about all them, and when I get them in next week, I'll do a video on them. It's really going to be interesting. Hey, it's YouTube, so I got two different varieties. I got the chicken house chicken. That's a white broiler that, you see in other videos that you eat them at, I think 8 weeks or 11 weeks, somewhere in there. I think it's 8 weeks, 7, 8 weeks. And then I got this other kind from, I'm going to say the country wrong, so I'm just not even going to say it. But it's from overseas. It's a breed that they've done, and it's a red chicken. Looks like a Rhode Island red kind of, but it's supposed to get big just a little bit and a little bit older than the white one, but it's supposed to be able to forage. And so these pens will be open up to this pasture. They'll be able to come out here during the day and eat. And I want to see if those white ones will hang out with the red ones and come out here, and at what age the white ones can't move anymore and they're stuck in their pen. Because what I'm going to do on their pen is I'm going to make their door about 6 inches up. That way they have to hop out. And so once they get too big that they can't hop out, they have to stay in there, then I'll know that they are no longer able to get out and forage. But that'll be in the future. But okay, this is putting post in 101. What you'll need to put post in is postal diggers, a tape measure, just a 2-foot level. If you have 4 foot, that's fine. I'm using my dad's. That sucker's 100 years old. It only has one good side left, but I still use it. And then something to poke the stuff in, and I'll show what I mean later. I'm just using an old signpost. That silly girl. She wants to be in everybody. Don't you even mess with my string. You leave that alone. She thinks she is something. You heard me. Oh, I bet you've been held in with electric wire, haven't you? You think that sucker's electrified, don't you? Silly girl. That's that goat I just got, the Lamicha. I just probably butchered that name up, but it's a milk type goat. Okay, hole 1 will be this hole here. You dig the hole. I dug mine around 20 inches. You get perfect's 2 foot, but with postal diggers, without making it a bigger hole, about 20 inches is all you can get with the handle. So 20 inches is fine for a chicken coop. I'd go deeper if I was doing a fence post, but usually you'd be using something thicker than this. Okay, so 20 inches is fine. At the end, when I get done, because it's going to slope down to there, I'm using this fence as my back side, and I'm going to put some bricks along the back. So one of my sides is already taken care of. But when I put my 2x4 across here, if these are a little bit sticking up a little bit, I'll just cut them with a chainsaw, or you could use just a hand saw. So that's really not a big deal, as long as you get them far enough in the ground, about 20 inches. So this will be your first hole. What I did is I did every hole at a different stage. This is your first hole. It's nothing to it, okay? 20 inches, you want to go straight down when you're digging, which isn't hard. You just look straight down when you dig a hole. Okay, that'll be where you get first. Second, I did a oops on this one, not really. When I put the Quikrete in, my post had slanted a little bit, so I have to fix it. And how you fix it if your post, okay, what you're going to do on the second one, let me not get ahead of myself, is put the post in the ground, and then just get wet, dry Quikrete and put it around, okay, about 5 inches below the ground. See how there's still some room down there? You don't want to come all the way up. I'll show you why later. But in this, when it was in there, it was at about 1 inch off. It was going this way about 1 inch. And so what I did is I just got a post, and I put it up against it. I made it go where I wanted it to, because when I put water in here, it's going to loosen it up. As I pack it, it'll make it go to where I want it to go. Okay, so that's how you fix a no-no if you mess up. Okay, this is part 2. You put dry Quikrete around it, about 5 inches to the top of the ground. Okay. Next will be this one over here, and it's actually not really next because it's dried a little bit ago. It still had water in it. you pour water all the way up to the top of the ground. You're like, well, how much water? It doesn't matter. That Quikrete will soak it up, and even some of the bottom Quikrete may not even get hard right this second. But next time we have a big rain, the ground will soak it up and it'll even get harder. But this post won't move, and I just did this an hour ago, but it won't move with that Quikrete. But don't mess with it for 24 hours. Let it cure overnight, and then I'll just put some of this dirt on top, pack it around top, and this one's done. And then 4, which that is really 4. I was just going to show you this one over here that already dried, is a dried, it's just a dried hole. It's the same as that one over there. But that's done. That's just needs to be let cured for 24 hours. And this is a corner post. These posts will stay for a long time. The way this pin will work is have one here, and then I got to put the middle ones in. And so it'll have a middle one right here. I'm not sure. I think I'm going to put a middle one in here on the east side just to make it stronger. I may not. I'm not sure yet. I got enough for it, but I wanted to look at the dimensions and see how much I had for it. But I just mainly on this video wanted to show you how to put the post in. So when you get to this position and you can build something, or this is how you put in a deck. You're like, well, how is it different from a deck? Well, you just do the exact same thing as I did here with a deck, okay? And then you'd come up off the ground so far. Let's say you want your deck at 36 inches. You'd put a mark here, okay? And that's where you'd put your 2x6s, okay? And then you'd come up from that, however far you wanted your railing. So let's say we wanted a 48-inch railing. So that'd be about right here because you're standing where that string is, let's say. And you'd cut that up off with a saw, and that's how you do your deck, okay? And then you just would put your runners across here and put 2x6s or planking. I forget the correct name for it, but it's the same concept. This is how you do a deck too. So if you've been wondering, I wonder if I could put my own little deck in. This is all there is to it. Step 1 is dig your hole. Just post hole diggers. Okay, I use a tape measure, stuck down in there. When I got 20 inches, that was far enough. Okay, and I left it just like that. And then next, you'll get Quikrete. One bag did 3 for this. And on the material, I got 10 of these posts and like 6 bags of Quikrete. And it was like $60. They're $5.99 a piece. And then the Quikrete, I went and got all the busted bags they had. Quikrete was running $3.50 a bag. And they had 6 bags that were busted, and some of them pretty bad for $1 a piece. And so I just took all the busted bags, and I'll have more than enough. And so I bought like 1.5 bags of Quikrete, and I got 6 bags out of it. But you put the Quikrete in the ground to about 4 inches from the top of the post, and you get this level, or any level. And some of y'all know how to do this, but I'm trying to help the ones that don't, and that way they can learn. Okay, and then that bubble's in the middle. You're level on both sides. And see, that one has already crooked back. See how it's, I don't know if y'all can see or not, but it's crooked back. It's not perfectly in that hole. And so I'm about to fix that before I pour water in there. Okay, and then after you pour water in and you get the leveled up and everything and it's good, most cases you don't need that T-post. It'll hold by itself. But once you get that to where you want it, like that corner post over there, you just leave it overnight. It won't hurt nothing. Just leave it alone. And then the next day, it's cured. Whatever that project is. Okay, this is what you don't want to do, and I did one so I could show you. Okay, what I did here is just like the other ones, but I was just going to make it good and strong. And so I went all the way up to the top with Quikrete. Just awesome. You know, just pile it around it, make it high. You shoot yourself in the foot. See what happens when I try to put water on there to cure the inside, the water runs off because there's no hole to hold the water in, okay? And so, yes, this Quikrete will be hard on top, but unless I get a good rain that moistens all that Quikrete down on the bottom of that and seals it, this one will be tight on top, but it'll be loose on the bottom, so it'll be easy to wiggle inside that hole. That's why you do not put Quikrete all the way to the top because the water runs off. You want to put it to about 4 inches below the ground. That way when you pour the water in, the water soaks straight down into the Quikrete and makes it solid concrete. And then you just put dirt on the top. Okay? Well, I hope this helps people. I didn't even think about decks, but it's the same concept for decks when I built the decks. But this is just going to be a 2-pin. The doors will be on this side. I think I'm going to use chain link fence for my outside barrier. and we'll have a door right here and a door right here, a 3-foot by the length of it door to walk in both of these pins when I'm done. But like I said, I'll do that in the future. I just wanted to let y'all know how to put the post in. Talk to y'all later. I hope this helps. Bye-bye.